They call it the vampire squid from hell, and that name alone sounds like something humanity absolutely should not have discovered. It sounds violent, predatory, like a creature that hunts in the dark with bad intentions and worse manners. A blood-drinking nightmare drifting through the abyss, waiting patiently for something warm and alive to wander too close. But here's the first lie, and it's a big one. The vampire squid doesn't drink blood, it doesn't hunt, it doesn't chase, ambush, or brutally tear anything apart. In fact, compared to most deep-sea animals, it's almost peaceful, which somehow makes it more unsettling, not less. Because if this thing isn't violent, then why does it look like that? And that question alone is why people can't stop watching it. Because this animal lives where almost nothing else can. Far below the surface, past the sunlight, past the familiar shapes of fish, into a layer of the ocean so starved of oxygen that most creatures would suffocate within minutes. Scientists call it the oxygen minimum zone, which is a polite academic way of saying nothing should survive here. And yet the vampire squid doesn't just survive, it floats, calmly, effortlessly, like the rules don't apply to it. No frantic movement, no aggressive scanning for prey, no desperation, just slow, deliberate drifting through darkness so complete it feels ancient, like this place existed long before fear had a name. By everything we know about biology, this shouldn't be possible. The deep ocean is usually chaos disguised as silence. Predators strike fast. Energy is burned violently. Mistakes are fatal. Eat or be eaten immediately. But the vampire squid opted out of that entire system. It didn't evolve sharper weapons or faster muscles. It chose patience, extreme patience, the kind that only works if you trust the darkness to provide. Eventually. At first glance, it looks like a creature designed by someone who really wanted to scare you. Dark red skin, the color of dried blood, massive blue eyes that seem too large for its body, built to catch the faintest traces of light that barely exist. Its arms are connected by a web-like cloak, giving it the appearance of a living shadow wearing a cape. When it spreads those arms, it doesn't look like it's attacking. It looks like it's revealing itself, slowly, intentionally. Early scientists didn't know what to make of it. They saw the cloak. They saw the sharp, tooth-like spikes lining the inside of its arms. They watched it unfold in the dark like something out of a gothic horror novel. And instead of understanding it, they panicked. They named it the Vampire Squid from hell. Because when humans don't understand something, we give it a scary name and assume the worst. But here's where the story turns. And this is important, so don't blink. The vampire squid isn't even truly a squid. It's not an octopus either. It's the last living representative of an ancient lineage that split off millions of years ago and then quietly refused to keep up with modern ocean life. Everything else in its family tree vanished. This one didn't. It slowed down instead. It became a biological time capsule. While other animals evolved speed and aggression, the vampire squid evolved efficiency. It doesn't hunt because hunting costs energy. And energy down here is priceless. Food doesn't swim towards you in the deep sea. It falls, slowly, in tiny fragments. Dead plankton, organic debris, fecal matter, the unglamorous leftovers of life above, drifting downward like snow in a world that never sees winter. Marine snow. That's not poetic language. That's the scientific term. Most animals ignore it. It's not worth the effort. The vampire squid built its entire existence around it. Instead of arms for grabbing prey, it uses thin, sticky filaments that extend gently into the water. It waits, not minutes, not hours, sometimes days. When particles drift close, they stick. Slowly, methodically, the vampire squid gathers them and feeds. No chase, no violence, just quiet collection. This creature survives by doing almost nothing. And then there's the oxygen problem, or rather, the lack of one. The vampire squid's blood is incredibly efficient at binding oxygen, far more than most marine animals. Its metabolism runs so slowly that scientists once thought their instruments were malfunctioning. It burns energy like it's rationing for an apocalypse. Every movement is calculated, every action justified. It doesn't fight the deep sea, it cooperates with it. But don't get too comfortable, because this is where the horror reputation earns its keep. When threatened, the vampire squid doesn't ink like other cephalopods. Ink wastes energy. Instead, it releases thick clouds of glowing mucus, bioluminescent slime that pulses in the darkness and sticks to anything that touches it. Suddenly, the predator isn't hidden anymore. It's glowing, bright, exposed. A walking spotlight in a place where attention can get you killed. It's not an attack, it's psychological warfare. And if that doesn't work, the vampire squid performs one of the strangest defensive behaviors in the ocean. It pulls its cloak over its body, exposing its spines outward, transforming itself into a floating armored ball of absolutely naught. It doesn't hurt the predator. It just becomes incredibly unpleasant to eat. Evolution's version of dark humor. I can't stop you, but I can make you regret trying. But here's the emotional twist most people miss. Beneath the horror aesthetics and metal album name, the vampire squid is fragile. It grows slowly, reproduces rarely, lives a long, quiet life that depends entirely on stability. Cold water, low noise, predictable darkness. And those are exactly the things disappearing from the modern ocean. Warming seas expand oxygen dead zones. Noise travels deeper than ever. Pollution sinks. And creatures like this don't adapt quickly. They endure until they can't. So if you're drawn to stories like this, ancient creatures, misunderstood monsters, and the quiet terror of the deep ocean, this is your moment to subscribe. Not because I'm asking, but because every subscribe tells the algorithm that this kind of content matters, that the deep sea still deserves attention. Because the vampire squid teaches us something uncomfortable. Not all monsters are violent. Some survive by waiting, by conserving, by glowing only when threatened and disappearing when things get loud. And the scariest part, this creature isn't unique. It's just one of the few we've named. Because if something this alien exists just beyond our reach, what's waiting even deeper, where the light has never touched, and no one has ever looked long enough to give it a name? The vampire squid isn't the end of the story. It's a warning. And next time, we go lower.